Alrighty. Oh, lovely stuff, lovely. If you're watching this later on, maybe you missed it, you didn't catch the beginning because I'm starting earlier. That is good. That is good, getting back to it. I was thinking of doing 9 o'clock. I had it scheduled for 10, but yeah, we're getting it going. 9:15. Hello and welcome to tonight's fantastic dinosaur action, continuing the minor tweaking, the shuffling of a few of those early creatures. It's going well. I mean, you could pretty much mix and match, maybe, it's sort of preference. A lot of these things could work that I'm using. Sylvan Scrying, lovely for 1 and a green. Search for any land, you put it into your hand. Well, that's lovely, to grab a Sunken Citadel, a Castle Garenbrig. Hello, yes, first. Hopefully all is well. Gunrunner. Where's the thumbnail? Okay, there. It's off. All right, back into it. Yeah, Domri Anarch of Bolas. We'll start off with the changes tonight. Lovely stained glass art for Domri here. Sylvan Scrying. Switched out, replaced with Domri. Those two cards are very, very different, but Domri would ramp, get me ahead, that sort of thing. Creatures you control, though, they get +1/+0. There is the potential that I go wide, and I have quite a few creatures. Palani's Hatcher especially. That's 3 creatures in 1. Extra value from Domri. Regisaur Alpha as well, 2 in 1. But just increasing the power, being able to even just attack with that egg, because now it is going to be a 1/1. That's pretty sweet. I love that. Always fun to chip away at an opponent with an egg, a dinosaur egg that is not hatched. But we got the ramp, creatures powered up, an anthem effect, and a -2. Fighting. A little bit more interaction than I normally start with because it's so overwhelming and powerful. I just beat up on the opponent, as we've seen many times. But last night that was, well, kind of rough. You never know what you're going to face. It could be a lot of blue stuff, mono blue devotion. Very, very painful. Not quite fast enough, and they have just the right amount of disruption to get the job done. Not so fun. No, not at all. But without Sylvan Scrying, there's a pretty reduced chance of grabbing a second Sunken Citadel, grabbing the Castle Garenbrig, setting up for 6 green mana on turn 4, possibly 7. If I go Sunken Citadel, maybe a Forest on turn 3, something like that, and Castle Garenbrig on turn 4, I would be looking at 7 green on turn 4. It's always nice to have that potential, but it doesn't really always happen. And then Sylvan Scrying anytime after the first few turns, often that doesn't feel too good. Certainly top decking a Sylvan Scrying when you really wish for just about anything else, it does feel painful. Is it so good that I should always have it in even though it doesn't feel good later on? Domri, of course, could be nice to top deck. I have a few creatures out. I don't need any of the lands, but I play this. Everybody gets bigger instantly. I fight, take out a creature, ramp, and I protect against counter spells, which you might think, oh, that's not needed. You're playing basically all dinosaurs, 29, almost 30. Well, every single creature in the deck is a dinosaur, so that is an absolutely perfect case for Cavern of Souls. But having this, you don't have to worry about counter spells. Tranix Rex and Carnage Tyrant can't be countered. Plus this, is that overkill? Well, maybe it is sometimes, but often enough it's not. Decks with counter spells, they may have that pesky Field of Ruin, ruining our chances. And that is another angle I'm looking at. Decks that use Field of Ruin to destroy Castle Garenbrig, reducing my explosive potential. They might destroy Castle Garenbrig, and it's not like they take out 1 land. They reduce my ramping by 2 extra. Sunken Citadel's tapping for 2, which helps. It supercharges Castle Garenbrig. But if I don't have Castle Garenbrig at all, yeah, it hurts. It hurts. You really want this package. It's kind of like Castle taps for 2 mana, Sunken taps for 2 mana, if you have 2 other lands. 4 lands in total, 6 green. That's perfect. But if they take out Castle, and I have to replace it with, say, a forest, I still have those 4 lands. But I'm reduced to only 4 mana because I don't have that pairing of Castle and Sunken. 4 mana or 6. Certainly very painful. Really quite painful when they stop this and destroy it. But we'll see. There's a couple options to get lands back, protect them, that sort of thing. Turn off lands. Sorceress Spyglass, of course, which I was using, but I like to try things back and forth here and there. Certainly feels like I have maybe a little bit more ramp. Tranquil Throwback should feel pretty good. When I do bring it in, I don't have to feel too bad with this being only the second 3-drop. I could go Domri on turn 3 or Topiary, set up for a very nice Tranquil Throwback on turn 4 with the extra green. Oh, absolutely. Very, very good. Yeah, Kogla and Yadaro. I actually was thinking about using it tonight. Possibly. Switching out Bonehorde Dracosaur, but this also has felt quite lovely. Domri does fix mana a little bit. Possibly adding a red, getting me to the second red that I need for the Bonehorde here, because sometimes I am messed up. I'm all heavily in green. Sunken Citadel. I've chosen green for the 2 green I need for Castle Garenbrig, but Kogla and Yadaro, yeah, it is lovely. It does have the fantastic enter the battlefield effect. If it happens to be one of the creatures in our hand that we put out with Galta's Stampede Tyrant, boom, we would fight somebody, remove one of them, and Kogla and Yadaro, of course, is a dinosaur, and hopefully either Palani's Hatcher or Regisaur Alpha were also put on the battlefield. So Kogla and Yadaro would fight something, and they would still get haste with one of these, or it could get trample and haste if it makes sense to do so. Destroying an artifact or enchantment at instant speed. Very, very nice. Oh yes, no one stranger absolutely about the Bonehorde Dracosaur. I was a little unsure of it. That did, well, no. Sometimes it's been rough. If it was a red and a green, which, I mean, I was kind of hoping it would be a red and a green, but it's not the case. Flying first strike, if it lives, it's kind of like Hulking Raptor in a sense. Oh, absolutely uncounterable because it's discard. It's basically impossible for an opponent to stop that. I think there's very few spells that can, answer it, which is very nice. Get rid of artifacts or enchantments at instant speed. Can't counter it. You draw a card and you put that Kogla and Yadaro back into your library. That is a pretty fantastic package. Even though it costs a total of 4 mana to do it, I still think it's very reasonable. You're destroying something, you're drawing it, and the thing goes back in. That's got to roughly be worth 4 for uncounterable artifact or enchantment hate. If you see 2, you could just simply get rid of it. I believe it says up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. Maybe you draw another one, you have 4 mana, you're not doing a whole lot. You just kind of recycle it at the end of the opponent's turn, see what you get. But usually there's probably something you can target with most decks, I would imagine. Should be quite reasonable. Hey, if I'm feeling pretty comfortable with the 2 red from the Bonehorde Dracosaur, I should be pretty comfortable with Kogla and Yadaro. Yeah, you always got to watch out for up to 1. You can do some fun stuff, but you keep in mind you don't have to destroy something. Maybe you're feeling bad, but worst case scenario, recycle it. Doesn't feel so good, but at least it's not sitting in your hand. You play 1, ooh, that feels bad. Maybe it's good to play the first one. Boom, you fight Shieldred the Apocalypse. That's pretty painful. You have another one as a backup later on. Love it. Or if the thing doesn't have death touch, boom, you fight, you take it out. It is a very powerful creature and certainly packs a punch. Well, keep it in mind. I've used it here and there. Not overly, and I've probably not used Cogla and Yadaro as much as I should. I try to put things through the paces, or at least explain why a certain choice would be good in various situations. Pretty straightforward, and then try something else on another night. But overall, it is basically the same plan. My favorite plan so far. I don't see that changing too much with Galta barfing a lot of stuff, Bonehorde Dracosaur. I was getting to that. It's the spot that Hulking Raptor took up. Roughly, that's what I'm thinking. It could make potentially 2 extra mana if we exile 2 non-land cards. We would make 2 treasures. If we exile lands, we get a 3/1 dinosaur, 2 lands, and those dinosaurs could have haste if I have a Regisaur or a Palani out, or I play them after Bonehorde has making those. I ramp, card advantage by 2. And it's a dinosaur, I can have multiples, flying, first strike. Certainly nice to have something with 5 power, first strike, trading with Shieldred, or just making them simply not attack. But also just having flying. I don't get caught out by some of that stuff. Sometimes. It would be nice if we can get it to 6 power. We don't have to worry about Archfiend of the Dross. Whatchamacallit. 2 and 2 black, 6/6 flying, 3 oil counters, found oftentimes in Rakdos Midrange, or Grixis, Archfiend Alteration. Archfiend of the Dross, yeah, that's what it is. Oh, that's scary stuff. So Domri would increase it to 6 power. We'd be able to threaten that thing, just about anything, I would imagine. I mean, it ramps and more power, creatures, a natural fit, a lovely thing to put out with Galta Stampede Tyrant. You can imagine Hulking Raptor put on the battlefield, or Bonehorde put on the battlefield. Certainly this would likely be quite a bit better, again, especially if I'm able to attack with everything that has entered that turn. Oh, and or 1 dino. Okay. Oh, I was thinking for both. Okay, well, either way, still lovely. Lovely stuff. You exile the top 2, and that's the main thing. Extra card advantage, and yes. Okay. Interesting. I guess if you exile land, you'd get a creature, and then if they're both different, if one's a land and one's a non-land, you get a creature and a treasure. Interesting, okay. It would be pretty cool to get 2 treasures. Maybe that'd be a little bit too good. Lots of lovely power. Domri, ramp. Topiary, ramp. Commune, increase the consistency to see the 3rd land. I've got 2 lands plus Commune. I'm basically guaranteed to see 3, which would get me to Domri or Topiary, which would get me 1 closer with mana, and then go off from there. Hopefully, that's always the plan, but it doesn't always happen. Sideboard wise, again, I want to revisit Tranquil Throwback. A lot of Izzet Phoenix, even though I do tend to get the job done without the graveyard hate. Covering artifacts and enchantments a little bit more is nice. Maybe I wouldn't be so caught out against mono blue devotion. Ugh. That was painful stuff. And it's not like Tranquil Throwback is super specific for destroying an artifact or enchantment. I mean, you could just have it in all the time. It's not like it's bad to have 3 copies, 4 copies. It's always going to be useful. It covers a lot of angles, pretty much. Giant Cindermaw as well. I've been facing some Amalia Explore combo, as always. That's rough stuff, but if they can't gain life, it's not much of a deck. Sweepers, as always, back to nature, extra enchantment hate. I've, again, started to face a little bit more 5-color Fires of Invention, Enigmatic Incarnation, so it's nice to hose them. That's a wide enough range of stuff covered, I would say. I could be Alpine Moon, Damping Sphere, something to turn off lands that tap for lots of mana. But Damping Sphere, again, I don't like it because it really does hurt me quite a bit. That one night I used it, highlighted that painful point. It wasn't always Sunken Citadel and Castle Garenbrig. Usually it was Castle Garenbrig, but yeah, Damping Sphere, extra painful. Now with the addition of this lovely, lovely land. Yeah, we got enchantment hate, enchantment artifact hate, graveyard hate, some life gain. If it makes sense to do so, buy us some time, stabilize, sweep. Well, what don't we sweep? Oftentimes this is pretty devastating against a wide range of decks, and artifact hate. And again, life gain hate. So we're covering tons of angles, a little bit of interaction now with Domri, lovely stuff, especially Topiary. Play that turn 3, Domri turn 4, Topiary fights and takes out probably just about anything. Hopefully it survives, but if it doesn't, we've already got the basic land from Topiary there, so perfectly. Oh, that's a special one. I'm testing something maybe even crazier. For Zacama, Primal Calamities, trying to ramp maybe a little bit more. Hey, if I have Zacama, I've got that interaction with its ability. I've got the artifact, enchantment, hate already, life gain. Pretty wacky, but hey, I'm up for it. Oftentimes I have more mana than I know what to do with, so it's always been in the back of my mind. Ooh, I gotta jam Zacama in there somewhere. Yeah. Cindermaw over the other dino. Yes, rampaging Ferocidon. 100%. That is a big thing. But rampaging Ferocidon, I'm glad you mentioned it. We've got Palani's Hatcher here. It hurts me, it kills me, and it has locked me out of winning sometimes when I was using it, before I realized. One Palani's Hatcher with a rampaging Ferocidon out means I take a minimum 4. I can't choose to not sacrifice an egg. Palani is 3 creatures in 1, Regisaur Alpha. It's been painful one too many times. If it was maybe some different variation of dinos, Palani not being a 3-in-1, Regisaur Alpha maybe not being in, perhaps I would. It got worse. Perhaps I would try rampaging Ferocidon, but it definitely hurts me more. Oh, going downhill here, folks, and it is 23 lands. I upped it by 1. That 23rd land is a Rockfall Vale, a source of red to help with the Bonehorde Dracosaur, but well, we had to get it at some point here. Ouch. All right. I don't have too many high hopes for this, but it does happen. Stomping Ground is nice. I'm going to go with Stomping Ground. I'm going to use it right now because this looks like Rakdos or something. Commune. Thoughtseize can discard that. But if I turn Commune into a land, Thoughtseize cannot discard it. So I'll take the pinch. I'll take 2. Unfortunately, the shock. Just in case they were maybe going to get it. But it's kind of working out. I don't really want to play Domri into, well, not having any creatures to save him. Yeah. Can't do that. At the very least, if Domri did come down, he'd be at 4 loyal. Oh, I might. I was actually hoping this would happen. We're going to do it. Domri, turn 3, and I can use the ramp. The 1 green for Commune, also on turn 3. Buy some time, draw some aggression at the very least. I will be making 6 green next turn. Do I like a Topiary Stomper? I kind of like a Topiary Stomper. Continue to get ahead and get really close to Galta's Stampede Tyrant here. That would be divine. Ideal. But yeah, that's lovely stuff though. Very good with Domri, making use of that mana. Sometimes Commune, you want to wait. You want to draw a few cards just to see when you dig. If you draw something you need, you don't have to grab it and you could grab something else. It could change those first few cards. If you use Commune right away, you would grab something that you really need, but you could have drawn it. And then you would have liked to grab something else that you now had to put on the bottom. And there's not a crazy amount of early play, so it's okay. Sometimes leaving Commune we don't have to worry. But hey, this could work out, maybe. Hopefully. I can make 7. I could play Galta's Stampede Tyrant next turn. Potentially. We're mostly dead, but if I draw a land that enters untapped, at the very least I would put out Galta and a Bonehorde Dracosaur. I think it is going to be a little bit too little too late at this point, though. I'm pretty sure it will be. Just unfortunate I had to mulligan, but that's a pretty decent recovery, though. Brotherhood's End. That's going to be quite devastating, for sure. Yeah, that's... well, I'm just curious if I draw land. I want to see. Ooh, oh, Castle Garenbrig would have done it. Darn. Shucks. Yeah. Can't get them all. Okay. Good old Brotherhoods. I'm going to start trying to trim Galta. Sometimes. Not the whole playset. I want to keep at least one in. But Brotherhood's End is going to really... well, that's a thing that's going to devastate this particular deck. Lots of their creatures, most of their creatures have 3 or less toughness. You can imagine if I had cast Brotherhood's End right there, it would have been pretty darn devastating. I probably would have cast it 1 turn sooner because I'm already so low, and Den the Bugbear would have finished me off. The 3 power from that and the 1/1 Goblin. Exactly lethal, sadly. One more thing, though. 1 Domri. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Sometimes, every once in a while, I have brought in Tranquil Throwback. It's pretty good. Croaks the Titan of Death's Hunger. If they've played it and it's in their graveyard, Tranquil Throwback could... oh, I'm keeping that. Tranquil Throwback could exile the graveyard plus destroy Fable. And maybe even gain life. Packaging all that is pretty devastating stuff. Lovely. Great value there. But having Brotherhoods 2 red with the Stomping Grounds, I do feel quite nice. Commune, though. I'm going to do it. And we're going to see if we get another Sunken. Ooh, that's not another Sunken. I like Bonehorde. Definitely. Hopefully they don't get rid of Brotherhood's End. I imagine that could be the case if they thought seized. We'll wait for just a little bit more value. I wouldn't really like to sweep a single Blood Tithe Harvester, that's for sure. Stomping Ground. Alright. It is a little bit interesting, though. When I am faced with this specific turn of events, I can make 6 green. Really interesting, actually. I can make 6 green on turn 4 with Castle Garenbrig plus Sunken in that, but I can't make 5, one of that being red. I can't play any of the creatures that cost 5, sadly, which is it's just a kind of interesting thing. I'll take out 2 creatures, I'll save myself taking 5 damage at least, and I stop the opponent from getting a treasure. Decent enough. A 2 for 1, plus a little bit. I would imagine it slows them down, maybe enough. Shieldred, ooh, painful. Bonehorde Dracosaur would be pretty nice. Yeah, you know what, we're gonna go for it. I want to play it. I want to see it. Hopefully it doesn't die and it has first strike. If they don't have removal, they won't be attacking with Shieldred. Okay, that could be alright. Probably getting rid of Palani or Regisaur Alpha, I would think. Yeah. I have enough mana at this point, so I don't think they're getting rid of Topiary Stomp. I can make 6. Well, 7 mana. 6 green, 1 red. Ooh. 8 mana next turn, just pretty easy. straightforward. And that's also why I still appreciate and I like not using those small early creatures. Stomp from Bone Crusher, Fatal Push, go for the throat. The really cheap creatures just don't stick around whatsoever. But this... Does Tranix Rex make sense? Next turn we would be hit for 4, plus 4 from Shieldred, 8, taking 2. Oh yeah, no, I can't do that. We would be dead next turn, sadly. Tranix Rex, they could just have Shieldred's Edicts. Possibly. That would be rough stuff. We'll see. If I do get a Galta Stampede Tyrant and Regisaur Alpha is still sticking around, that could be pretty good. I could reasonably top deck Galta Stampede Tyrant. Maybe. You never know. Now, we'll see. A pretty low chance though with 1 copy, but it's not unheard of. Okay. Interesting. Nine. Oh, close. I was almost able to make 10 for Tranix Rex plus Topiary Stomper. That would have been pretty crazy. Next turn, no. Next turn, at least Topiary. I'm just glad they didn't attack. Phew. I think they want to kill somebody. They can't take out Tranix Rex, which is nice. Their removal at the very least cost 2. And they don't have an extra 4. They only have an extra 3. Oh, good. Good. Interesting. Kind of makes me feel like they have another Shieldred in their hand. Hopefully that's not the case, though. Or they were just scared. They didn't have any other way to get rid of Tranix Rex. They didn't want to take 8 damage twice. That's not nice. Eventually. Bone Crusher Giant, okay. Brotherhood's End. Seems like it would be pretty fantastic right about now. Oh, they do have another. No. Nuts. But 2 Topiary Stompers, actually. That is pretty fantastic. Both of them have haste. They both have vigilance. I don't leave myself nearly as open. I can feel pretty good. Maybe not attacking with everybody, but let's see. No, that doesn't quite make sense. I'll attack with 2 Topiaries at least. Get some damage in. It's just going to get away from us. Someone big. Regisaur, stick around. And I have been thinking of upping Galta Primal Hunger again. A little bit. Sometimes I've had 2 copies, 3 copies recently. But it really does seem like adding that, along with Galta Stampede Tyrant, would be pretty fantastic. Lovely stuff. An extra additional way to have someone big that just absolutely closes things out. We wait. Maybe they have a stomp. We're certainly done if that's the case. Maybe we can squeak by with 1 health. Something like that. You never know. If I'm not dead, I know I can top deck a lot of big stuff and finish off the opponent right then and there. Oh, that's pretty nice. That's getting there. 14. No. Still wouldn't do it. Could I attack with one to maybe get some damage through? Potentially. Possibly. Just one. See what they do. Absolutely, absolutely. That's kind of also why I've shied away from it a little bit. Now, it is a very good point. I do like guaranteed stuff, partly why I kind of prefer Topiary Stomper a little bit over... Well, there you go. Can't get them all. But Topiary over Hulking Raptor. Hulking Raptor does live decently often enough with the ward too. Sometimes it only lasts one turn, but oftentimes that's all I need for it to last. But Topiary, I get the basic lands. I just get it. I get one more, one closer, and they can't do anything about it. But yeah, we'll see. I do like Bone Horde though. Hasty. Well, chances are I can attack with it the turn I play it. Often-ish. With Regisaur and Palani. So I do get some benefit from it right there. Some damage at the very least. But sometimes it gets some good stuff. The card advantage, very nice. But having to wait and, yeah, being pretty susceptible. Partly why I like 4 Carnage Tart, 4 Tyrannix Rex. Just so difficult for the opponent to do anything about. And getting to Carnage Tart and Tyrannix Rex pretty stably with the Castle Garenbrig and Sunken Citadel. Yeah. Don't have to worry as much about those things getting killed. But I don't like this. I do like kind of 2 Domris. I don't have a source of red though. And that's rough stuff. That's also rough. Well, hey, it got better. At the very least. I do need to name green for Sunken Citadel. I would like red, but that would maybe be a big hoop to jump through, needing 2 other lands that are sources of green. It would have to be 2 lands other than Cavern of Souls. If I chose this as red for Domri just to get it down. Okay, so it's a Rakdos or Mono Black Knight. Very different from last night being pretty heavily into the blue stuff. It could just be wildly different. You never know what you're going to get, so that does keep things pretty interesting, which is what I like. Oh, back-to-back Rakdos Midrange. Eee. Hopefully seeing a Commune or a Topiary Stomp rather. Ouch. We'll get him. Maybe not this one. You can imagine right now if maybe a Bone Horde was something a little bit cheaper, something that also ramped. Certainly I can see the case for Bone Horde being overkill. Definitely. I have tons of big stuff, lots of good stuff. I don't exactly need Bone Horde for its size, so it could be trimmed for, at the very least, a Hulking Raptor or Thunderherd Migration. And I have been thinking about Thunderherd Migration. That is lovely stuff. Turn 2, we reveal a dinosaur. Every creature is a dinosaur, so that's almost guaranteed to have one. But we get a basic land. We get one closer to the plan, and I might actually do that. Not tonight, but it's always been on the back of my mind. It does, again, feel pretty bad. Actually, I might go with Glimpse the Core, come to think of it. That could be better than Thunderherd Migration. It is quite similar. We can only search for a basic forest for 1 and a green, but we could also get a cave from the graveyard and put it onto the battlefield. If the opponent destroyed Sunken Citadel with their Field of Ruin, Glimpse the Core could bring it back, keep the game plan alive of... Oh, I'm already down to 2. I was having such a good time explaining things I didn't even notice. Yeah, no. But hey, I like to live through the pain, talk through it. Sometimes there's things that are a good reason. You guys mention it. I realize it as I'm doing it in some cases as well. But living through, oh, this choice is good because of this because of this. And you just keep doing that again and again, switching stuff out. Why not? And it's all recorded here, so we can all check, go back, if that's what you want to do. Sometimes I don't have a whole lot of time to look back at it, but hey, at the very least, there's always room for improvement. I'm not entirely certain that this will get locked down dinosaurs. I'm pretty certain that it's impossible. I would imagine it's basically impossible based on preference. Do you want to have a way lower curve with some of those early creatures that could die? Or do you want to have lots of big stuff? Do you want to have a mixture? Do you want to have the mana dorks, Land War Elves, or Elvish Mystic, plus Bone Horde? Do you want to be kind of sprinkling in the dinosaurs? That sort of thing. Trainix Rex? Yeah. You know what? Let's go for it. At the moment, we're looking at 6 green with these. We'll do it. We'll do it. Oh, and another Commune with Dinosaurs. Okay, Sunken Citadel. Wait, oh, still no Sunken Citadel, but at least we grab Topiary Stomper. That's pretty sweet. I like it. Yeah, Glimpse the Core. And it has some pretty cool art, so it could be the thumbnail for tomorrow night. Definitely. But you can imagine, the opponent probably has some number of removal, maybe a couple fatal pushes and some go for the throats, that sort of thing. They would have used those with the early creatures, but now I don't have to worry. Maybe they think, oh, the opponent just got unlucky and they didn't see any of those 1-drops or 2-drops. They're like, oh, but I'm going to face them this game. They're going to play them. That's not the case because they're just non-existent. We'll wait for Brotherhood's End. At least taking out 2 creatures. I'm okay with that. Okay. I imagine they're getting rid of Trainix Rex. Oh, interesting. Maybe they didn't realize that they're going to be staring down a Trainix Rex, the first of 2 next turn. And I think that should be probably fast enough, if I can get both. And they don't have another Thoughtseize. We'll see, though. The Graveyard Glutton, rough stuff, making us lose sometimes a lot of life. Yeah, that might work. Oh boy, maybe they're kicking themselves. They thought they didn't have to worry, and now they gotta worry. If they have a Shieldred's Edict, of course I'd sacrifice Topiary Stomper to that. They could have Go for the Throat, taken out Topiary, followed by Shieldred's Edict, and Trainix Rex would be the only creature I have left, so that would not be so good. Well, they aren't going to kill us this turn, so if they can't make me discard Trainix Rex, they will die next turn. As long as I connect with both, they would get 8 poison counters, taking them to more than 10. Instant death. Don't do it. Oh boy. Done. Oh. There we go. Good stuff. Ooh. Deadly. And I've actually won against Celestia Angels because of Trainix Rex. One time though. It's still not a very fun matchup, but they went down to 2 or 3 health. They didn't account for Trainix Rex, the poison counters, its Toxic 4, which is another angle I've been wanting to explore. Getting an extra Toxic on Trainix Rex, getting it to 5, so I only have to hit twice to get to those 10 poison counters, or giving it double strike. If it hits twice in a combat, they would get 8 poison counters, or they would just be dead from the damage, which is also a very real possibility. Yeah, definitely. I'll keep Brotherhood's End in. It would be nice to get rid of the Graveyard Trespasser plus Inti. That could be rough though. The Graveyard Trespasser likely getting a 1/1 counter put on it. Getting it to 4 toughness. Maybe they play Graveyard Trespasser plus Inti on the following turn. Difficult. But it's not a difficult decision to keep that hand because I've got Sunken and Castle Garenbrig already. You can't Thoughtseize away the lands that get me a lot of mana. Resilient to hand hate. Oh boy. Again, well, that's basically exactly the same scenario. I want a red for Domri, but I gotta choose green for the 2 green for Castle just to be safe. I lost 1 game. Oh, okay, wow, we're safe. But I lost 1 game today. The first Sunken I chose as red, and if I had chosen it as green 4 or 5 turns later, I would have been able to play Galta's Stampede Tyrant. But yeah, it was a wee bit painful. At the very least, I got Domri. I think he should be safe. Hopefully, they don't have a stomp. Crossing my fingers. Stomp for plus the Goblin would be enough to take it out, unfortunately. Could have possibly just gone Castle Garenbrig, setting up for next turn. Either way, I wasn't going to be able to... Well, I could have played Tyrannix Rex with Cavern. Yeah, we'll see. I still might just go Brotherhood's End, depending what creature they play. Hopefully it's not Shieldred. Shieldred. Nuts. Darn. Yeah. That should be good. We're going to lose Domri anyways, but no. Tyrannix Rex could have been nice. Certainly Domri's going down. I saved myself taking 4. I'm okay with that. Brotherhood's End, hopefully this turn. Hopefully I get another source of red. But we're not taking out Liliana. That's for certain. I mean, I can take her out with Tyrannix Rex. It's not a total loss. Unless they have Shieldred's Edict, the only card in their hand. Just our luck, unfortunately. Pretty crazy, though. I can play Tyrannix Rex for 7, but I can't play Palani's or Regisaur for 5. Very interesting. A little bit of a dilemma, I guess. Hey, Liliana's gone. That's good. I think we should be safe. Probably. But going with this heavy green, again, kind of makes me shy away from the Bonehorde Dracosaur, which I also couldn't play. Brotherhood's sometimes a little bit rough. Partly why I like to, or have liked to lean so heavy into green in the past, because a little bit too much red, not so great at times. Oh, 100%. Some people, well, it's not as easy to illustrate. They're like, why are you so heavy in green? Use some of the red, some of the dinosaurs with double red. Yeah. Palani's Hatcher is multiple things. Yeah, let's do it. Multiple blockers, the most blockers, 3 and 1. I still think we're mostly dead, of course, if they have a stomp or that sort of thing. Oh, maybe it's a Shieldred's Edict now. Well, they would have used it before Palani's Hatcher entered. Oh, I said nice. They probably figure it's done for. I would imagine that's the case. I won't attack. We'll leave everybody behind just to be safe. Safe as possible. Well, we'll try and stop it. I would imagine because they attacked, they got a copy in hand. Ooh. We're not dead yet. Pretty much. But yeah. Okay, that tends to do the trick. But it's interesting though. You saw how easy, you've likely seen how easy I can get Carnage and T-Rex. Leaning into that, supporting that. Bonehorde Dracosaur doesn't exactly do that. Something other than Bonehorde Dracosaur that would either grab some more lands, grab the Carnage or Tyrannix Rex, buy time to get the Carnage Tyrant or Tyrannix Rex, something like that. Just leaning more into it because it is so devastating. Getting either of those things down on turn 4 really is pretty painful. Painful for just about anything. Everybody has removal and answers, but if you can't remove or answer the big creature that I play, again, that does seem to make sense against a lot of people. Bow of Nylea, I wish. I've been hoping for that eventually. Death Touch, 100%. If anybody doesn't know, Bow of Nylea, attacking creatures you control have Death Touch, I think. And if a creature has trample, you only have to assign 1 damage, lethal damage, to each creature that is blocking you. So, say 3 creatures are blocking you, you have a Tyrannix Rex. You assign 1 to each, there's still 5 left over. 5 damage continues on through, and you destroy those 3 creatures, because Death Touch, trample, it is a fantastic combination. Beautiful. But eventually it will get into Explore from Theros. Hopefully Arena Wizards gets their act together, they populate and make Pioneer, well, exactly Pioneer. They certainly could have just add it all in. I don't imagine it would have been difficult. Bring to Light and Pioneer, Cypher, whatchamacallit, Hidden Strings for Lotus Field. A couple other things, but not a whole lot. Topiary? Well, we'll go with Topiary. We get ahead by 1. Reasonably, they could have Fiery Impulse. But Domri would be 3. Yeah. We'll see. Ledger Shredder could have attacked Domri, taken him down a bit, plus a Fiery Impulse to finish Domri off. I wouldn't have been up. Certainly they can have a reasonable amount, well, a painful amount of removal pretty consistently with Izzet here. But Izzet sometimes is too slow. Yeah, it would be lovely. Death Touch. Sending everybody into their Shieldred, not having to worry, however small the creature is. An egg. It would be funny. The egg, powered up by Domri being a 1/1, it would have been a 1/1 Death Touch egg. Maybe like a rotten egg or something. Now the question becomes, do they got any Phoenixes? No. I do like Carnage Tyrant. Just get that guy down, be able to attack with it. Pretty, well, impossible to interact with. They might throw a Lightning Axe on Topiary Stomper for a red, discarding a Phoenix, but we're still at a very healthy 18. Just getting Carnage down. I could see them maybe using up all their mana, safely able to go with Domri next turn. Even if they have Spell Pierce, 1 blue, making us spend an extra 2 just to play it, we would have enough in that case, at least 5. But I will be looking at 6. I can do a lot with that. Sereth the Viper's Fang. Yes, yes. Known Stranger. I've tried it once, I think. A couple times. Sereth is very, very nasty stuff. Just having Death Touch would be pretty widely applicable, even if the creatures don't have trample. You know you're going to trade whoever blocks whoever. The thing is dead. But there's enough oh. Okay. Strap yourselves in. Do they have a Fiery Impulse? Okay, we got lots of options here. Fiery Impulse for 3 would take out Palani's Hatcher. Let me think. Yeah, we'll make the 6. We got a total of 8. We can go Palani's plus Galta. We're going to do that. I like that. Fire Impulse. Do it. I still get to play Galta. Sadly, I don't get to attack with her. But I think this is the most overwhelming, powerful. Never seen it before in my life. Oh, Lord, there's the Lightning Axe. Hey, at the very least, they didn't discard an Izzet Phoenix, so we're still looking pretty good. At least I get to attack with Galta next turn. No. No Phoenix. Oh, no Phoenix still. I like that. They can deal 5, possibly 7 with the Ledger Shredders after they put counters. 1 Phoenix is 10. 2 Phoenixes is 13. We should be basically safe. As long as they don't get 3 Phoenixes in the graveyard, it's okay. If they get 2, we're still alive. I think it's a pretty tall order to get 3 Phoenixes. Gotta be. But if they can't kill me this turn, they can't really attack. They wouldn't want to. It certainly doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay, just 1. We're good. We're good. Hopefully. Of course, Izzet Phoenix, Izzet Phoenix, can be very, very surprising. They can just hit one after another. Massive, explosive amounts of flying damage. Painful. Kind of why I've also liked the Bonehorde Dracosaur. Save me a little bit. Maybe deter the aggression from some of the flying creatures. Big Ledger Shredders. Huh. Interesting. Well, I like Bonehorde Dracosaur. We're going to try for Domri. I would imagine something happens to it. Either they counter it and die, or they don't counter it and they probably die. I targeted Carnage Tyrant just because I felt maybe they would target Galta, bounce it, or something like that. Okay, bounce it, sadly. Oh, they're still dead. Wow. Good, good. So you see, as I was mentioning, Domri increasing the power of everybody, you get fantastic value. Those eggs, I got 2 extra damage just because I played this. Sometimes that can make all the difference. Well, Domri won us the game right there. Down to 7. They could have reasonably taken us out on the following turn. I don't have any creatures with reach, but Domri, they're -2. Without Domri, they would have been at 2. They wouldn't have been dead. And 7 is a pretty scary amount to be at for Izzet. Yeah, oh, Domri, lovely, lovely. I can certainly see this staying in on the regular. Yeah. Bonehorde Dracosaur, switch it up, switch it out. We'll see, we'll see. Tranquil Throwback. We got the win. They know we don't have Graveyard Hates. Maybe they think we don't have much so we can surprise them. Again, always nice to, have that as a potential. Yes, primarily white, usually. But they did give us a flying dinosaur with the Bonehorn Dracosaur, which is, that was pretty nice. Yeah, most of them. Well, they could be blue, potentially. Hopefully we get some more white dinosaurs. It was nice to get a few, but it's nice to know dinosaurs could be any color. That hand looked a little bit risky. It did have Tranquil Frillback, but the 2 lands, yeah, that's certainly quite a bit nicer. Yeah. You know what? 1 Cavern of Souls. Send that to the bottom. I'm going to keep Regisaur. I'm looking at 6. About 6 with Domri here. Topiary Stomper going to grab the mountain that I need for Domri, and I likely would have preferred to play Topiary Stomper anyways before Domri, which is very nice. Having that extra mountain, even though the odd time, because I'm so heavily into green, if I have that one single mountain, it has messed me up. But definitely with Bone Horde and Domri, having some early things that require red or double red, Topiary maybe being able to grab that mountain, very nice. And now we got the Tranquil Throwback. Again, if you can attach your hate or your thing to a dinosaur, you make that hate uncounterable, and that could be pretty devastating. They don't have a Phoenix yet. If they don't go Treasure Cruise, I'll probably exile the graveyard. It's nice when it's done for. Treasure Cruise is sorcery speed, so if they have a pretty big graveyard, nice to exile it. Even if I don't get a Phoenix, it means they wait for the Treasure Cruise at least a turn or 2 as they fill it back up again. Now, that would be nice. Maybe we go to a more focused dinosaur set. Although Lost Caverns of Ixalan, I mean, it was pretty focused. You can't ask for a whole lot better. Oh, okay. Rough. So you can see how the graveyard hate oftentimes is just too slow. 1 turn, too slow in some cases. Let me think. Domri's definitely nice. I'll go with Commune. See if there's a Sunken Citadel. Good. I like that. Yeah, that is certainly very nice. 3. Let me think. 6, 8. We're doing it. Set up for next turn. Domri at the very least could draw aggression from them, even though Ledger Shredder is going up a wee bit. At the moment, they might have to send 2 creatures towards it. They don't know. They could be dead next turn. Galta Stampede Tyrant, putting Regisaur plus Tranquil plus potentially another dinosaur that I get. 12, 15 with the token from Regisaur, 18 with Tranquil Throwback. Not powered up with Domri, because certainly they got to be taking it out. As long as I get, something reasonably sized, they could be dead. And I mean, there's plenty of that. 4 Carnage, 4 T-Rex. Haven't seen any of them yet. A pretty good chance to see one of those 2 next turn. Definitely. I like it. Oh, that's good. That's good. No Phoenix. Ooh. Oh boy. As I thought. That's pretty good. Saving myself from taking 6. Oh, what did I say? I love when that happens. Oh baby. There you go. I'm pretty sure that's a good game, but I won't say it. Don't feel like doing the math, but yeah, good stuff. Pretty good. Ooh, close. Yeah, can't win them all. Was pretty cool to see, though. So close. If only it was Tyrannosaurus Rex, man. Exactly lethal. Yeah, I'll keep it like that. Oh, I wish everybody's losses were that cool. Yeah, you can't be too upset when that happens. I mean, sometimes you get them exactly, sometimes you don't. The opponent gets me down to 1 or 2, and that's just enough time. I only had to live 1 turn longer, and then I dropped Galta. They saw red, they attacked with everything, left themselves open. Likely they didn't realize what could potentially have happened. Whew. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Very, very nice. Hey, the losses are fun, that's for sure. Okay. Tranquil Frillback, nice. They did get the information that I do have a Tranquil Frillback if that affects how they do things. Now, am I going to keep this? I have kept stuff like this before. 1 land, maybe I draw the second land, Commune would get the second land at the very least. I'm going to do it just because it's pretty cool when it works. It's not the craziest thing in the world. No spell pierce. Oh, I was actually getting a little bit scared there. Whew. Good. That would have been embarrassing if they had spell pierce stopping us from getting it. Stomping Ground could be nice, getting Domri. Sunken Citadel, perhaps. This is probably getting countered. It's gotta. Oh, okay. Sunken Citadel it is. If, by chance, I get another land next turn that enters untapped, I could make 6 green, and I kept a hand that was 1 land. Nice. Oh, they're not getting a Phoenix this turn. At least. They don't have a Ledger Shredder. That's also very nice. I'll take it. Nice that they don't get, or when they don't get a turn 3 Ledger Shredder. Oh, folks, I kept the hand with 1 measly Castle Garenbrig, and look what I'm about to do. Wow. Beautiful. Would any of you guys have tried this? I've tried just about anything. That is like, perfect. No Phoenix, no graveyard, no treasure cruise. They were ready to treasure cruise, but now they're going to be cruising to a loss, I think. That's got to do the trick. That's got to slow them down enough. Man, 1 land hand. The power. I probably wouldn't have done it if it was just a single Commune. Seeing a Commune, I'm going to get a land. Another Commune, get a land. Can't play anything right now, but hey, just a picklock prankster. That's not so bad. I don't have any creatures out for them to kill, so I don't have to, worry about that aspect. Land, you can do it. Source of red. Or a sunken. If I get a sunken, that's, I got it, okay. Oh boy. Well, they can't counter what I'm going to play. If they do have a Fiery Impulse, that takes out Palani's Hatcher, but it doesn't take out Regisaur Alpha, being at 4 toughness. We see a Fiery Impulse and a Lightning Axe. Another one. As DJ Khaled says, nuts. It's close. If I get a land that enters untapped, they are definitely dead next turn. Ghalta Stampede Tyrant and Ghalta Primal Hunger, both hasty, maybe, perhaps. Torch the Tower, it's a little bit, well, it's not too bad. It only deals 2 damage. They have to bargain with it to deal 3, sacrificing an artifact, enchantment, or a token. So perhaps we might be safe. Maybe. Okay. Hopefully they don't discard 2 fee. Whew. It's always scary stuff when you have something that says discard 2 cards. You worry they might be getting many Phoenixes. Attack with everything. Land on tap, land on tap, land on tap. Oh!
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
There you go. That is what it's all about. Lethal. Dead. Not a single thing they can do. Wow. $24, $27 damage. Hasty. Get him.
Yes.
What, yeah. I'm just glad I can show that if you only see one, think about it. That was pretty cool. That's the best match of the night so far. I don't know if I'm going to top that. But seeing what you could do. You see 1 land in some communes, you're seeing 2 lands or 3 lands. Or you draw a land, and then commune doesn't have to grab a land. Yes, so I'll pat myself on the back for that one. Okay, good. The Tranquil Throwback, that was like perfect. Exiling it just in time, no graveyard. They lost 1 Phoenix, no treasure cruise. They had to refill, slowed them down enough, and 1 land. Wow. All because of commune. At the very least, you saw how amazing commune is. 1 green to dig and grab anything. Basic. If you have enough dinosaurs and lands, it commune with dinosaurs pretty much reads: look at the top 5 and reveal a card and put it into your hand. Kind of. I don't get to grab Domri or a sweeper or anything like that, but man, that was good stuff. This hand's much better. That one only had 2 lands, costly things. I like the looks of this. 1 Ghalta to the bottom. I do have 4 copies, so they're pretty reasonable that another one could be coming up. Hopefully it's not Lotus Field. I must say, I don't like Azorius Lotus Field. Probably my least favorite out of the Lotus variants. Just in case they have Jawari Disruption, wanting me to pay an extra. Okay, they don't. Oh, Sunken Citadel there. Okay. Would have been nice to grab Sunken. Have that be my land for the turn, because it always enters tapped. That's just not the case though sometimes. Well, if Field of Ruin is going to take out 1 Sunken, I'm going to make both Sunkens the same. I like a Cavern of Souls, a good Cavern of Souls. Let's do it. As long as we, they're going to do it. Okay. Oh, well. they goofed up there. They don't know that they're going to be staring down a turn 4 Tyrannix Rex. Who's used to that? Nobody's used to seeing that. Okay, here goes nothing. Wow. Decent. What's that? What isn't that good against? Phew, I was so scared I wasn't going to be able to make 7. They're taking out 1 sunken, but they saw my only source of red. So that's, I think it's probably understandable. They thought, oh, if I take out their source of red, their dual lands, that might mess them up. But they don't know how heavy I am into green, and sometimes it doesn't do much of anything. I can't target it. Wandering Emperor does nothing. Oh! They can't even exile it. All they can do is make a samurai. Not the +1. Next turn, they're going to take their entire turn off just to get rid of it, which is also good. Do it. Then I get to do whatever I want. I could play Galta Stampede Tyrant next turn, and they're dead. If I draw Galta Stampede Tyrant, they're dead. Pretty sweet. Yeah, there's Cavern. Let's do a Cavern. Regisaur Alpha. Get rid of the Wandering Emperor. I would only be dealing 3 damage to something or someone, so I'd take the opportunity to not worry about that Planeswalker. Now we'll see their removal. Gotta get flooded at some point, though. I don't need any of the lands I have. Technically, I do need that 1 source of red for Domri, though. Map tokens, that's alright. Hopefully they don't get rid of everything. Ouch. But that's also not so ouch, because we're going to see what we get. I can play anything I grab. Ah. 4 lands again. 7. Ooh. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Pretty good. It doesn't always happen like this. If you're new here, don't think it's like every single game or match. But you have this as a lovely potential, a pretty consistent potential. Oh, just keep drawing them. Yep. Yep, that, nice. They gotta run out of sweepers at some point. Maybe they only have removal, but, well, they can't remove Carnage turns, because that has hexproof. I assume there is something like that. No more sweepers. No farewell. Maybe. Oh! Oh!
Good Lord, what is happening in there?
Ruthless aggression.
Of course, it is naturally super duper scary for regular Azorius Control. Lotus Field, not so much. That is, well, that's not so fun. If you don't have something that stops lands that make a bunch of mana, you turn them into making only 1. That's not in the list tonight, but phew, good, deadly. What do I want to do? Not a whole lot. Keep it the same. That's pretty good. What I start out with in game 1, I just don't have to change anything for this particular matchup against Azorius Control. I like that fact. Wow. Hopefully I get to do it again. Commune at any points. Lovely. You dig 5 deep, chances are you're going to find something pretty impactful 5 cards down. The Regisaur, a Carnage Tyrant, or a T-Rex, at the very least. And you could have so much mana, spending 1 green, likely you're still able to play whatever you grab, even if it is something pretty expensive. 2 Sunkens, a castle, and another land. you make 7 green. You could have another land after that that you use for Commune, and you're off to the races. But that hand would not be off to the races, that's for sure. Certainly. Wow. Night and day. Different. Palani's hand. Oh! Oh!
What in the hell just happened? How did he do that?
Well, you don't see that every day. It's been quite a few weeks since I've had the turn 2 scoop. Smash them so hard and bad and like, oh, wow. Ooh, that's good. That's extra good. Back to back. Izzet Phoenix going down, well, keeping a hand with 1 land and smashing Azorius Control. So bad. It has been pretty rough today, I must say. Lots of losses. Sometimes there's a streak. Sometimes that can indicate something's a little bit off. Whether you want to increase the lands a touch, change out a few cards, you know. You always want to stay positive though. Get a big sample size, because no matter what you're playing, you could have a streak of 10 losses. Maybe you win 1. You're feeling like, oh, this deck just doesn't cut it. And then you have a bunch more wins or something like that. Knee-jerk reaction, that's what I'm getting at. You don't want to make some sudden change. Or you could be playing a stock list, a net deck, Rakdos Midrange, pretty straightforward. You lose 10 matches in a row. You think, oh, I'm just bad at the deck, but that could just be how it goes sometimes. I like that. That's pretty crazy. 3 stompings and 3 communes. Hey, maybe Commune grabs a Sunken Citadel or Castle Garenbrig or a Topiary Stomper. Speaking of Topiary Stomper, set up for turn 3 quite nicely there. I'll still go with Commune to start. Oh, I was going to say Commune to start, maybe grabbing the Sunken Citadel. Now that's going to be my land for the turn. Hopefully they don't have a Spell Pierce. Maybe this is a Phoenix again. Oh, whoa, ooh. I must say, again, it's been painful. It hasn't worked out quite this good. I'm just happy it's doing it live. Sometimes it's painful. Last night was certainly very painful, but I'm glad to be bringing the pain a little bit better tonight. Oh, they must not have had Spell Pierce. That was on the top, I think.
What?
Oh, that's the wrong one. That was the same spot where
What in the hell just
the
happened?
thinking dino is.
How did he do that?
Okay. I was still on the second page with the extra emotes there. Hey, next turn we got Carnage Tyrant. If I draw a Tyrannix Rex, I can play it. Love it. I definitely think Topiary Stomper probably slightly better more often than Hulking Raptor, being able to play Topiary on turn 3 versus Hulking on turn 4 and then Hulking just dying. Rough. Certainly very reasonable to get to 3 lands. It could be rough to expect 4 lands by turn 4, but 3 lands by turn 3 with 22, 23, very likely. So pretty much almost always guaranteed to hit Topiary Stomper, get in range. If you see Topiary in 3 lands, you see 4 lands. Do I want to take 2? Do I need to take 2? Not so much. I'll just go Commune next turn. I can go Domri plus Commune. I'll start with Commune just to see what the deal is, though. It definitely. You can use Hulking and Topiary in standard right now, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it all depends. Again, it could be standard dinos. You're not using all these costly things, or you're playing an Explorer Pioneer and you're not using the costly things, you've got Rampaging Raptor, a couple of the other cheap stuff, maybe you're using Ripjaw Raptor, so you don't really need the 2 mana from hulking as much, and the liability of just losing it. A Fiery Impulse for 1 red, and then they pay an extra 2, a total of 3, is a pretty common occurrence. 5, that's not too bad. Okay, well that's bad for them. All right, that's what more could I ask for? If they don't kill us this turn, they die. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. As long as they don't get 2 Arclight Phoenixes, which is... Oh, down to 1, okay. If they get 2 Arclight Phoenixes, we're done for. But if they only get 1, we live. 2 Phoenixes, 6, plus Ledger Shredder, 3, total of 9. Well, they don't have 1 yet, so that feels pretty good. Maybe they have one in... Oh, they have one in their hand. Oh, boy. Oh. Here goes nothing. Is that it? No Phoenix on top. Don't do it. We got him. Yes.
I am inevitable.
Oh, I love that. Just a race. Oftentimes it is a race. That actually is pretty thrilling to me. Knowing that, oh, I could just do something so... Yes, let's go. Phoenix, Azorius Control, Phoenix, hopefully things go well. But again, they don't know I have the Graveyard Hate. They would assume I have Graveyard Hate. But, well, we're bringing it in. Didn't really need Domri Anarch of Bolas. Well, we'll see. But yeah, Domri, a little bit in flux. Bone Horde, roughly about 8 or so cards, 8-ish. Kind of in flux. Graveyard Chicken will never see it coming. And speaking of, Death Gorge Scavenger, I really think I should use that a little bit more. Use the art for Death Gorge Scavenger as well, because it is so striking. I love it. I've always appreciated it for that point too. Yeah. All right. Hey, we got the job done. Again, and it's a good point. How you mentioned about Bonehorde Dracosaur, I've never needed it. Never need it. Never need it. Domri, don't exactly need it. But if I don't need Bonehorde, hey, Glimpse the Core. Pretty lovely. Yeah, I'll keep this. 2 lands and Commune, pretty nice. Commune probably, almost certainly grabbing the 3rd land for Topiary. Hopiary. Okay. Be a little bit risky. Keep a hand that's kind of awkward. Awkward-ish. That's pretty good. Yeah, gotta be a forest. We gotta make sure, at the very least, that the Castle Garenbrig I have enters the battlefield untapped next turn. The forest achieves that, opens up the potential for that Topiary Stomper. Yeah, Graveyard Chicken would be good. Ooh, I could go for a nice pulled chicken sandwich. You buy a roast chicken at the grocery store or Costco. You leave it overnight, or you just make a pulled chicken sandwich right there. Ooh, lovely, lovely stuff. I would imagine this Topiary Stomper gets countered. I wouldn't be surprised. Hopefully not. Okay, no, that's really good. Certainly grabbing a mountain just in case. Maybe I get another land, another forest next turn. I might want that red for, Palani's Hatcher, Regisaur Alpha, that sort of thing. I could play Carnage next turn if I have a land that enters untapped, able to make 6 green with Castle Garenbrig there. And definitely able to go at least 2 hours here. Another half hour or so, very nice. Again, to start earlier than usual. Oh, there you go. And also, they could have switched up, not have really the Phoenix angle. Possibly. Not the Vivian variation. Kind of wasn't exactly feeling it. Again, likely I should test out probably some changes. More often than I do. Try it out for a day or two. Get a feel for it. But I do think I can put everything in perspective a little bit, maybe easier than some people. I see and have seen all these different scenarios, fringe cases. I'm like, oh yeah, this is good with this at this point in this case. Just being able to evaluate something pretty fully, not have to go through as many matches perhaps as maybe other people. But the sunken too, their chances are sinking. Okay, another topiary? Yeah, let's go topiary. Make sure we get the Galta. Ooh, deadly. And also just make the topiary that I have a vigilance. Sometimes I forget about that fact, because I don't often get to 7 lands with topiary. Now, it's 8 lightning axe, not too bad. As long as we're not dead next turn, they're dead. Pretty good stuff. The question becomes, can they deal 18? That's a pretty tall order. Topiary Stomper at the very least can block a Goblin. They only have 1 Phoenix. Maybe they can do it. I don't know. I don't think they can do it.
Grant me revenge. And if you do not listen, then the hell with you.
I'll get revenge for all you guys that have felt the Izzet Phoenix pain. It is not so scary. And I didn't even need graveyard hate. Oftentimes I don't need graveyard hate, which is interesting. So much lovely power oftentimes can't be countered. It just beats them up, gets the job done. The main difference, Hulking Raptor and Bonehorde Dracosaur, those two are switched up. Bonehorde could kind of ramp, maybe getting a treasure similar to Hulking Raptor. Bonehorde is card advantage, exiling cards from the top, so a little bit of ramp maybe, plus the card advantage. I love that package, and it's flying and first strike, which also is very nice for me to see. I like that. And now hopefully there's no counter spell. Yeah, there is. Or an Ether Gust. Oh, maybe not. No? Dead. Are they dead? There it is. Oh. Done for. Ooh. How much damage is that? Doesn't matter what health they're at. Even if they were at full, they could be feeling safe. Most people would feel safe. Oh, a dinosaur deck is not going to take me out from 20 to nothing in one turn. Ah. Okay. Izzet Phoenix, down. Azorius Control, down. Izzet Phoenix again. Done for. Ooh, love it. Yes, very good. Very good. But yeah, Thrasher. Pretty much it's Vivian switched up with Domri. Not exactly comparable, but those two, I would think. Actually, Domri switched up with Sylvan Scrying. Sylvan Scrying gets me a land, kind of ramps. It doesn't put it on the battlefield, but Domri actually ramps, then powers things up and provides interaction. Hulking Raptor switched with Bone Horde. And then, yeah, that's it. Vivian. Actually, let me think. Sometimes I forget the changes. They really all blend together. Is right. Domri for Sylvan Scrying, Bone Horde for Hulking Raptor. Yeah, well, that's about right. I'll have to look back. Sometimes I do delete the list. I could work my way from the bottom up, deleting the old one, just so I can track a little bit easier, night to night or week to week, the variations, the changes that have been made. But of course, there's the stream. We could all look back and see the list in the description. As always, the exact one that I'm using is there every night, so that's pretty easy too. Maybe I should try my Zacama list. Now, I'll keep it like this. At least one more match. If I win the next one, I'll use the extra wacky, extra greedy Zacama. But you can see, what have I not been using tonight? I'm not using Sylvan Scrying, but how easy and how often am I still getting to 6 green, 7 mana, 8 mana? I'm pretty easily still getting there, consistently getting there without Sylvan Scrying. Interesting to think about. DC Brano, though, I've faced him before, sometimes taken this person down. Oftentimes they are on auras, I'm pretty sure. Auras, Yorion Doom Foretold, or Humans. Humans is very rough for me. Anything aggressive, oftentimes that is the case, but hey, you can't win against everything. If you have a pretty favorable matchup, or just a favorable matchup against everything, people probably would be playing the deck that you're playing, I would imagine. Well, at the very least, I got some interaction with Domri, taking out General Kudro of Dranith next turn. Maybe Palani's Hatcher or Regisaur Alpha, but that Luminarch Aspirant is never fun. The longer it sticks around, adding a counter at the beginning of their multiple lords is not fun. Coppercoat Vanguard, absolutely, that really gave a shot in the arm to humans. 100%. Powering everything up, plus Ward 1. It doesn't get a better package than that. Well, we're not winning that one, unfortunately. Pretty much any variation wouldn't have done too good. Yes, thanks for the congratulations. Hit 1,000 subs. I forget. I'd have to go back and look. I made a community post, but certainly gained quite a bit more with the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. People typing in Dinosaurs. Ooh, hey, there's this guy that has only ever played them. I should check out what's going on. That was quite nice to see. Pretty good bump. Maybe could be a little bit faster, but hey, I'll stick with this. I love it. I love that I am sticking with one thing so completely. That alone does motivate me. I want to keep going. Extend the length that I have done this. But Brotherhood's End, we're getting ahead of myself. Certainly a sweeper helps. Hopefully they don't have, well, one of the things that provides protection for a certain color. They choose a color, they choose red, and then none of their creatures would be dead, sadly. Trim Galta? Yeah, we'll trim it. Tranquil Throwback could be kind of nice, taking out Ossification, potentially. 1 and a white, temporarily exiling a non-land permanent, I believe. Enchanting a plains. But I don't often see ossification anymore, that's for sure. Yeah. We'll trim Tyrannox Rex as well. I'm basically lowering the curve quite a bit, simply bringing in Giant Cindermaw as a creature, a cheaper creature, but trimming Tyrannox Rex and Galta. I mean, chances are I don't need the potential of Castle Garenbrig making all that green. I would like to keep this. I only have one source of red. Brotherhoods, if I had Commune maybe mixed in there, I would feel quite a bit more comfortable. Turn 1 or turn 2, dig for the second red. Okay, well, I mean, it's no Brotherhoods, but I think that's all right. Certainly going to be keeping that. Send the forest to the bottom sometimes if they have Field of Ruin, or yeah, we can do that. I'll get green. I'll get another source of green, but I definitely might need the red from Sunken for Brotherhood's End at some point. But what was I saying? I forget. I must need more coffee. Or more sleep. Maybe should have had a nap tonight, or nap today. It was my wife's turn to nap though. She didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. Sometimes, hey, that's just the case when you have young kids. I mean, certainly we're going to lose Domri. We would save ourselves from taking 3, 4-ish. But if I don't lose Domri, I could get Regisaur Alpha. I'm almost certain we're going to lose it, but you never know. Maybe. If it lives, we could be seeing 5 mana for Regisaur Alpha next turn, and that really would turn the tides, that's for sure. Yeah, either way, win or lose, we're going to do that Zacama list. Next game. Next match. Actually, I'm not entirely sure I did the sideboard. Huh? We'll do that live. Yeah, a Giant Cindermaw, that's not going to do it. Brotherhood's End, that would have been pretty devastating. Taking out the... Well, we wouldn't have taken out the Hopeful Initiate, but we would have taken out at least the 2 Dauntless Bodyguards, the human. Save some time. Dire Tactics, oh, I'm surprised. I don't see this more. For a white and a black, instant speed, you exile target creature. In a human deck, I mean, the perfect fit. If they don't control a human, they lose life equal to the creature's toughness. That's guaranteed they'll always have a human, especially with the Mutavault that they had out there. Somewhere. Yeah, the Mutavault. All creature types. Dire Tactics. It's, it's looking dire when they have that as potential removal. Yeah. Not a pretty sight, but hey, take down Izzet Phoenix twice and Azorius Control. Doesn't get much better than that for a night. Actually, yeah, I forgot. I was going to check if I sideboarded here yet. I was kind of whipping it up quickly before I started tonight. Oh, yeah, no sideboard. Yeah, we'll throw in the usual suspects. Get the good old Tranquil Throwback. Oh, no. Not that. I have always wondered, actually, about shrines from Kamigawa, M21, that sort of thing. Shrine Tribal. Could it be good-ish? Kind of nice to add a few of them. Actually, you know what? I want to look them up right now. All the different colors. Eventually. Any that I don't have. Mainly this Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest. For 3, at the very least. If this is the only shrine, I would start off with an extra mana each turn. Pretty resiliently able to start off with an extra one. Oh, you have a shrine deck. Okay. Yeah, definitely very fun. Not the best win rate. You don't want to see, well, you can't see multiples of a particular shrine because they're all legendary permanent, so it works really good, I would imagine, or not so good. Deadly, hit or miss. There's no kind of middle ground. Maybe it's not super consistent, but I have always appreciated its potential, especially this one, Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest. Sanctum of All, hey, that, well, I've faced shrines before. It's probably been 6 months, something like that, but we're getting sidetracked a little too much. Let's get the sideboarding done. Yeah, Sanctum of All popping off. It's nice to win with a deck like that. I think maybe they'll add some more shrine support. I always thought it was pretty cool. There it is. What else did I have? Sometimes I have a brain fart. What was the fourth one? Back to the end. Huh. I'll apply the styles and I'll check. Man. That's a brain fart and a half. Oh, giant Cindermaw. I don't know how I forgot that. My goodness. Maybe I'll finally face Amalia Explorer. I did face it once today, and, well, they got their thing off. Turn 3, Amalia killed everybody, and, yeah, the usual. Nothing I could have done. Nothing pretty much anybody could have ever done. Some decks just simply win. Oh, I clicked on the same one. We'll get there. We'll get there. At least one match with this Zacama. Pretty easily able to get it. Secluded Courtyard, I did switch that out for some of the lands. Getting my Source of White or Cavern of Souls. It's going to be pretty consistent to reach that, I would say. Where is he? There he is. But yeah, tons of mana. If I can make tons of mana, chances are I can get to Zacama. And if I can easily and consistently get there, might as well have a bunch of them. 4. I'm not scared to have 4 Ghalta Stampede Tyrants because it can be so devastating. Wins on the spot. Well, that froze for a while. That was odd. But something that can help me win on the spot against sometimes just about anything. Taking an opponent from 20 to nothing. I like that. That's good, and that's why I want to see it as often as possible. Having the 4 copies, digging for it with Commune, something like that. Yeah. Alright, here goes nothing. 2 Sunken Citadels and a Castle Garenbrig. That's what I'm kind of aiming for. Make 6 green with that batch. Have 2 other lands. As long as it's 1 Cavern of Souls plus something, a Secluded plus something, I'm able to make 3 lands. Gotta make 9. I was thinking this was Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. Zacama is 1 more, but that hand reasonable enough. Turn 3 Domri, turn 4 Palani's Hatcher, maybe. Mono green boats. Gruul boats. A little bit unfortunate to see 3 Domris now, but hey, that happens. I love Domri enough that I'm happy to just have a bunch. 1 copy, it's pretty good. 2 copies, wouldn't see it with any consistency. And there's nothing quite like Domri Anarch of Bolas for what it does, the package. Could be another Planeswalker for 3 mana, maybe split it up 2 and 2 just so perhaps this particular scenario. Oh, Sunken Citadel. That would be good. I could play Sunken. Sunken plus those 3 lands would represent 6. Plus Domri is 7. Secluded is 8. I could potentially play Ghalta next turn. But, well, I just wouldn't be able to. I would go with Sunken. I wouldn't be able to play Palani's. We would lose Domri, the one that's out, coming up. I'll just do this, get a bunch of creatures that can block, and, well, we'll see what happens. That's pretty decent. 11 power. 5 mana, split between those creatures. Potentially that's going to be 14 if we hatch that other egg. Hey, it doesn't have trample. Might as well jump it. I could have combined blockers just to take the Lovestruck Beast out. I felt they might have something instant speed. Oh. Well, you can see why I've been thinking of increasing Ghalta Primal Hunger, because oftentimes I'm able to get it. Okay, that is very nice. Very nice indeed. Ooh. I'm attacking with everything. Some people say Ghalta Primal Hungers win more. They haven't said it for a while. It's been a long time since I've read that, but when you pay 2 for a 13/12 trample haste, that's just win. Straight up win. You might as well lock things up like just about nothing else. Ouch. Hopefully no sort of sweeper. It looks like a basic-ish Golgari midrange. Maybe a newer player. A little bit light on the wild cards. We only see forests and swamps at the moment, so kind of makes me think that might be the case. Having rare wild cards, that is... yeah. Sometimes that's rough for new people. Ouch. Okay. That did the trick. Huh. Do I want to do anything different? Brotherhood's End. Sometimes that can be quite good, slowing them down. Even though I don't take out the Lovestruck Beasts, as long as I take out the creatures that are 1/1s. The Lovestruck Beast can't attack. The humans, Foulmire Knight, Edgewall Innkeeper here. Or maybe that's kind of the angle they're going for. Lots of 1/1s, plus the Lovestruck Beast able to attack a very nice body. 5/5. 3 for a 5/5. Do I like Brotherhoods? I do like Domri, I must admit. That's lovely stuff. But Zacama, yeah, we'll trim that. Brotherhood's End is going to be quite a bit more devastating than Zacama, and Zacama requires white, but I don't have any lands that produce white. Secluded and Cavern of Souls gives me my white, but it's not like I have a Temple Garden or a single Plains that could be messing me up. So if I cut Zacama, I don't have to feel too bad that I have these lands that make white, but I don't have any cards in the deck that require white. That's just not really the case. Really shouldn't have kept that hand. I was just thinking about the fact of trimming a thing that you're splashing for and then feeling bad because, oh, okay, not feeling so bad. Was going to be rough if it was just Secluded Courtyard and Cavern of Souls being held off of Commune with Dinosaurs. But I could have suspected Golgari Adventures. Lucky Clover is, well, it's pretty fantastic stuff. If this starts to pop off, we get buried in value, sadly. It's not fun. Oh, another Sunken. Well, okay. Do I want to choose red? Just in case. Well, there's no Castle Garenbrig. We got our land for the turn already, so I can simply grab Topiary Stomper. That makes the most sense to me. If I didn't have Cavern, I would have grabbed a land, but we're in a pretty good position, I think. No Lovestruck Beast yet, so I don't have to worry about potential of haste. This isn't Gruul, so there's no Reckless Stormseeker or something else that makes me scared of a Lovestruck Beast landing and swinging that turn. Oh, that's not what I want. This is what I want. Alright, if I draw Castle Garenbrig next turn and they don't kill me, they die. Barfing for 40 damage. Galta 12, Carnage Tyrants 14, 26, plus the Palani. Oh. It's pretty cool to know if I draw one specific thing, they die. I hope. They could have Thoughtseize or Duress, but Duress wouldn't make me discard anything because I only have creatures. That's pretty funny when that happens. Okay. Castle. Ooh, that's not Castle Garenbrig. Scarenbrig. Could I live with a Palani's? Maybe. 3 creatures to block. Palani herself threatened the Lovestruck. 2 eggs. Wow. 1, 3, 3, and 1, 1. 1, 2, 3. Oh, maybe. Hey, at the very least, if Palani's Hatcher buys me one more turn, that could be all I need. Pretty cool. Hey, sometimes I just need to buy myself a turn. No removal. Okay, Lucky Clover, a little bit scary. Hopefully they don't have too many painful adventures they're about to play. You never know. Okay, that does it. Exactly lethal, huh? Nasty stuff. I actually want to look at that because I've never. I can't do it now, sadly. But it's kind of like Grey Merchant of Asphodel entering the battlefield, losing life equal to the number of devotion to black. The amount of devotion, that was losing life equal to the number of knights they controlled, which Foulmire Knight plus Mosswood, 2. And then they doubled that twice. So 3 instances of losing 2 life. I was exactly at 6. Exactly enough. Scary. Maybe could have done Brotherhood's End, taken out the Lucky Clovers, potentially, or Tranquil Throwback to destroy the Lucky Clovers. Also a very real possibility, but sometimes they don't see Lucky Clovers at all. And this hand looks pretty lucky to begin with. A Sunken plus a Castle and a Cavern, 3 lands to begin, and a Commune. Oh. Do I like Topiary? I like Topiary. Let's do it. I almost played Cavern of Souls instead. If I didn't draw a 3rd land, Castle would have entered tapped. I wouldn't have been able to make 3 mana on turn 3. That would have been embarrassing. Not the first time I've done that. Okay. Well, I'm certainly grabbing my first source of red. Hopefully I top deck another one. Eventually. I don't want to misclick. Okay, hey, at least I'm in range of Carnage Tyrant. If I draw a land, I can get enough for turn X Rex, and that's probably pretty devastating for them, I would think. Ouch. That's how it goes sometimes. I can make 6 green for Carnage Tyrant, but I can't make 5 for the things that cost 5. Crazy. Okay. Whew. There we go. It's like Carnage Tyrant is the cheaper, earlier thing than Palani's Hatcher or Regisaur Alpha. You never would have thought you'd hear that sentence. Certainly surprised me when I ran into this the first few times. I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's an interesting line, a tidbit of information there. Hey, at least I'm not dead. And it, okay. This is looking good. Well, I can't be aggressive. Trainix Rex plus Carnage Tyrant, they just take it and then kill me. Would I want to attack with 1T Rex? I do like Palani's Hatcher a little bit better. Again, if there is something nasty coming, a bunch of removal, having a bunch of chump blockers, makes me feel pretty good. I'm just going to attack with Carnage Tyrant. See if it draws out the Lovestruck Beast. Plus, good. That's what I want. I don't want to have to worry about the 5/5. Get that big thing out of the way. I've got 2 Trainix Rexes in my hand, and I can play them. But that's good. That's good. So if I didn't attack, would have been pretty rough. Okay. Now we'll get him. We'll get him. Eventually. That Edgewall Innkeeper really is giving him some fantastic advantage. Whenever they... Okay, get back here. Whenever they cast a creature spell that has an adventure, they draw a card, and 2 of them, buried. Done for. Well, it's got to be at least Regisaur Alpha. Hopefully getting the 7th land next turn at least. If Topiary Stomper was turned on, that would be ideal. Cultist Stampede Tyrant would kill him as long as I live here. But again, it could be that night thing. The one they cast previously. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Man, I hate Lucky Clover. When it works, it works. Oh boy. At the very least, Regisaur Alpha and the token perhaps scares away aggression from the Murderous Rider. That's alright. Okay, I was a little bit scared. Cultist Stampede Tyrant, we get him. Let's go. Or a Source of Red, either one. Pretty deadly. Man, they drew a lot of cards there, my goodness. They have 11 right now, they have to discard 4. That's not a Source of Red. But, Topiary Stomper's turned on. Regisaur Alpha, I'm at 6, I'm low. Go nice and wide. Attack with Topiary, it's got Vigilance. If 2 things combine to block... Oh, okay, good. We got some free... little bit of damage on them. As long as they don't have that one night that makes us lose life, maybe we can get them next turn. I could sweep. If I get another Source of Red, both Regisaur and Topiary Stomper would survive the 3 damage, and it looks like they would lose most of their creatures. Man, burying me. No dual lands. This is pretty sweet. Drawing 4 cards. Oh my goodness. I think we're certainly dead. They're going to get that night with the adventure that makes us lose life. That's Smitten Swordmaster. Okay. Very neat stuff. Golgari Adventure Knights. Knight of Adventure. Maybe that's what I'm going to call it in the chapters. That's pretty cool. Never seen that exact spin before. Hey, I would have hoped for another Source of Red by that point. But that's not the case sometimes. What can you do? Sometimes you lose. Close. Alright. Well, I can certainly beat up the classic stuff. Izzet Phoenix, Azorius Control seems to be pretty nice. Lots to think about though. Do I need Domri? Something instead of it? Actually, you know what? We'll look at Glimpse the Core. I want to talk about that. Oh yes, absolute. Maybe the Discord. The Discord would probably be better, I think, in the deck submissions section. Just, you know, keeping it, well, easily accessible. People don't have to go back to the chat or something. And sometimes that can be hard to find, but I would say probably the Discord would be best. Yeah. We can all look at it pretty easily, chat about it, comment on it. Yeah. Yeah, Glimpse the Core. Alright. Is it better than Thunderherd Migration? Probably. The odd time I don't have a dinosaur in my hand on turn 2 when I want to go with Thunderherd. So this, at the very least, I'm always grabbing the forest, putting it on the battlefield. If the opponent has gotten rid of my Sunken Citadel with their Field of Ruin, I get to bring it back. So for multiple things, multiple reasons, this is really good. And if I just naturally lean heavy into green, if there is only forest to grab, I don't have to worry about potentially not grabbing maybe the single mountain that I have. Maybe a Trim Brotherhood's End or something like that. Sometimes that's an explorer. Dimir Mill, Dimir Rogues, naturally they have a bunch of mill attached to that. Pretty rough stuff. I'll look at it for anybody that isn't super familiar. Soaring Thought Thief here. It all revolves around wanting us to have at least 8 cards, a minimum of 8 or more in our graveyard, and then the rogues do the stuff. As long as we have 8 or more, rogues they control get +1/+0. Pretty rough. The Thieves Guild Enforcer, 1 black for a 2/1 flash. I believe it becomes a 4/3 Death Touch if we have 8 or more. It's not super common, and it is pretty rough because they have a lot of sacrificing things, Drowned in the Lock as well. But mill is not too common. Oh yeah, 100%. Glimpse the Core, Topiary Stomper, perfect. But when I have so many things, bringing basic lands out, and also factoring in Field of Ruin, which, well, that could happen with anybody. Field of Ruin destroying Castle Garenbrig, or destroying maybe Cavern of Souls, because they have some counter spells. It makes me pull a basic land out, but then I have Topiary pulling basic lands, and maybe I've drawn 1 or 2 basic lands. Then I go Thunderherd. If I have 6 or less total basics to start with, I could run out pretty easily, and I have run out. So with the 4, if it is still 4 Topiaries and 4 Glimpse the Cores, I'd probably want at least 8 basics. Sometimes I've gone down to 7 when I have 8 things that grab a basic land. But 8 is nice. Toss in a mountain, maybe I toss in a plains, but again, if the thing I'm splashing for is so expensive, by the time I get enough mana, chances are I've drawn a Secluded Courtyard, Cavern of Souls, or Sunken Citadel. I just have this enter, I choose white, there you go, I'm covered. And it's pretty certain that the 2 other lands I have, I can make them be green sources. But again, it does catch me out. If the first Sunken is not chosen as green, making sure I can activate Castle Garenbrig as often and as soon as possible. Now, lots to think about. They're pretty nice. Thrilling. We could go over it, tweak it, but we're getting there. If there is an exact best, absolute best way to do it, we'll see. But if not, hey, do you want to use Zacama, not use it? Regisaur, not Regisaur? I still think all Regisaur, all Palani's, lovely. Get the haste with Galta when you barf a lot of stuff, attack that turn, and you might need to. If you don't kill the opponent that turn, you could be down to 2. I've been down to 1 or 2. And if I'm not able to attack and kill them, they certainly kill me next turn. It could be a couple Arclight Phoenixes finishing me off if I don't finish them. So the haste on everything, if everything is a dinosaur, or most stuff is a dinosaur, a very nice fact indeed. Whew. Usually it's enough. But if the opponent is wise, they kill the single Palani's or the single Regisaur, and you don't get to kill the opponent that turn. Nah. Perforos, Bronze-Blooded, Xenagos, I'll probably add them back in at some point here. I could imagine switching out a Domri maybe for the Xenagos or the Perforos, just to increase the overall chances of seeing haste. Xenagos does only give haste to one thing, but it doubles it. And if we double Carnage Tyrant, we don't have to worry about the opponent responding with removal to the thing we target, because they can't remove it. So if you double Carnage Tyrant, it's like you have 2. And that's sometimes pretty good. And sometimes you don't get to attack with Carnage. Maybe I only have a Xenagos out, and I play this, I double it, get to swing that turn. Yeah, so much to think about. Good stuff all around tonight. Fantastic, ruthless aggression. Hopefully you guys had a good time watching right now. Later on, if you've been watching for a year, you've been lurking, if you're new, thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.